All right, can you all see the Lord's logo?
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful, perfect. So because we're on stream, I will turn down the settings a notch so that I'm sure not to burn my computer off. So in order to, first of all, register for the competition, the first thing you have to do is to go to wonder.biblioteca.xy. Scroll down a little bit. You connect your wallet over there on the massive orange button. Get Briqs and build. That will connect you to the to the Google form, where your StarkNet address will be automatically pasted, and you can add your Twitter handle so that we can credit you. Once that's done, I will manually airdrop some Briqs over to you. So you get 20,000 Briqs and one Briq NFT. So that's a very special Briq, and we'll go over that one. And once that's done, you don't need to do anything else. You can just head over to realms.briq .construction, which is a subdomain that we created specifically for the competition. And from there, you can actually start building. So just to be sure everyone can see the builder from there. Good.
Yeah, it's a little laggy.
Yeah, super sorry about that. I'll just quickly tweak some stuff. Try and see if I can reduce the quality of the stream. Super sorry about that.
I think it happens to me when I'm streaming WebGL stuff as well.
Okay, I'll put the frame rate a bit down and reduce the resolution too. That should enhance stuff. Okay, is it manageable now?
That's better.
Alrighty, let's move on. So the first thing that we'll do is getting on the builder, and let's get a bit familiar with the interface. So over here you have all the different colors that you can use. Here are some of the buttons that are used to paint, move your Briqs, delete the Briqs, and place some Briqs. And over here you've got the settings. So first off, the first thing we're going to do is to check how many Briqs we have. So we have 20,001 Briq. So that's the overall Briq balance that we have. If you do not see the correct number, or if you think you're missing some, don't hesitate to drop a message in the chat. In case you think it's not up to date, just click the little button and it will update automatically. So let's start building something. So first of all, this is a placeholder construction that we put on the builder, but we can actually start from there and move around it. So what we will do is to start placing some Briqs around it. So let's say I want to build a wall. So what I'm going to do is I can manually place some Briqs. That's actually a bit slow. So what I can do is I can hold the Shift key, drag my mouse to create a bigger structure. Similarly, I can go in delete mode, erase Briq one by one, or I can just delete an entire row by holding the Shift key and dragging my mouse. So now I've built like a wall, but it's lying on the floor. So what you can do to bring it back up is go to the move section over here and select mode. And now you can actually select some Briqs. So once you select a Briq, you're able to move it around just like that. In case you want to undo anything, you can just Control Z or press the undo redo button over there. That works as well. Let's say I want to select the entire thingy. Let's say I want to have this wall put back up in vertical. So I will just select everything by shift and dragging my mouse around. And here I have the entire thing selected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly put it up like so. Now it's floating in the air. Now I want to rotate it. So the way to rotate something is to click the little rotate button over here. That will show you the rotation gizmo. And the way it works is you hold the circle and you drag your mouse around to rotate a construction in a particular direction. For instance, let's say I can also move it from the side. There we go. So now I've got my little wall back up, so I'll put it back down. And so I want to enclose the entire Lord's logo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the wall again, and then I can copy it. So I'll make a copy of it. You can also Control-C directly. Then I will place it over here. There we go. Make another copy. You can actually stack them up. That's what I'm doing. Lovely. So let's finish up the wall. Sorry, up. You're also able to select bricks not in a rectangular fashion. You can just click this button to select bricks in a brick aware mode. So that will go like this. So it's a bit easier sometimes. There we go. Another wall. Let's rotate that one too. There we go. Fortunately, I'm not as good as a brick builder as Revilo, so hopefully he will get you some better tricks to build better. There we go. Up. So here I've got a little gap here because I was moving stuff around. So I go back in place mode here, select true color, then I'm just going to shift, click up to fill the void. I select the final wall. So here, for instance, it's a bit difficult to see exactly what is going on. So you can go in settings and show the brick border so that it's a little bit easier to figure out what is going on here. Select the entire thing, copy and paste here. There we go. Now we've completely surrounded the Lord's logo. So let's build a little door now. So I go in delete mode. You always have the option to just clear all. That's not what we're going to do. So I undo that. And to build a wall, to build a little door, I'm just going to shift and drag my mouse around here. There we go. The Lord's logo is now free to go. So that construction looks a little bit sad. So what I'm going to do is just to add a little bit more pizzazz to it by coloring it. So the way colors work is the same way. Just select, you go in paint mode, you select a color, and then you're able to paint blocks individually, or you can also paint the entire thing all in one go. So I'm just going to have these two walls brown, and these two here in different shades of gray, like so. There we go. So let's be a little bit more ambitious now. Let's say we want to build a roof. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in settings and I'm going to increase the canvas size. So you can go up to 300 to 300, which is going to be a bit bigger, like so. That gives me a bit more space to work with. So I'm zooming back in and I want to build a roof. So one way I can do it is I can just stack them on top of it, like a pyramid, like so. Then another one, and then another one. So that works out, but it's going to use up a lot of bricks. So what I'm going to do is going to be a little bit craftier, is I'm going to build the wall over here. There should be a correct size. I'm going to select it, move it around, and then a super tricky thing is you can actually bend your constructions in arbitrary degrees. So if you rotate this thing by using the red circle, it will only snap back in position for 90 degrees. But what we can actually do is force it to bend the bricks in arbitrary degrees. So if you hold the shift key and move it like so, you'll see what happens. There we go. Looks a little bit bendy, but that will do. So let's now move it around and snap it on top of the construction. There you go. So let's copy paste it and put it on the other way. There we go. Rotating it. Down the line, we'll have better tools to help you do this in a more automatic fashion, like mirror creation, but we're still currently working on it. Let's move it back there, a bit up. And there we go. Now we're cooking. So you can always turn the gizmos back on and off by just clicking these buttons. That makes it easier to see what is exactly happening in the construction. So both of them are still a bit too far up. I'm going back in rectangular selection, so it's easier to select all of them. I'm just going to drag them down a little bit. There we go. So it doesn't look like too much, but it's working. So let's say I now want to, I'm very happy with my construction, and I want to add the finishing touches to it. So I want to add the keystone special brick. So in order to do this, I go back to place mode. And then I select the keystone element, place keystone. And I'm going to place it right on the top, right there. There you go. It has realms written on it. Looks dapper over there. It looks more like a barn than anything else. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to win the competition just with this, but I hope that gives you a bit of an idea of exactly what you can use the brick builder with. So I'm now going to mint it on chain. I'm just going to reduce the settings a little bit. I'm also going to change the color of the background so that it looks a bit more. Oh, here we go, like so. And I'm just pressing mint on chain. From now, I choose which one I will register as. So I think this looks like the Sanctum of the Oracle. I will take another screenshot. I actually want to remove the base grid, the borders, and the base plane so that it only shows the construction. I choose a good angle. Or let's say this one works. Yep. I click on take screenshot, cropping my image a bit. Crop. Next. There we go. I've used up about 2,000 bricks, and I've built the Sanctum of the Oracle for the Order of the Twins. If I click mint. Oh. Sorry, sometimes StarkNet just acts up a little, so you gotta be patient. I will now sign the transaction with my Yeah, Argent is already sometimes slow adding with the with the with the stream, it's probably going to take a bit for it to load up the entire thing. So please bear with me.
Sometimes it's quick.
Click on sign. Sometimes it's quick, actually. It really depends.
Alpha.
We actually ask you to sign 2 transactions. One of them is to verify that the thing we're storing is actually the correct construction. Then the second one is actually the one that is going to be sent to StarkNet. Right. I'm being extra cautious with this one because this is usually the one that I can fail. So I'm just waiting for Jean to give me a network fee. There we go.
Maybe.
There we go.
Whoa.
Transaction was just submitted. So I'm just going to tweet about that one. There we go. Transaction is pending on StarkNet. It's all ready. And if you want to see the construction that you have built, you just click on Manage Set at the top left. You'll be able to see that the sanctum of the oracle is over here. So you're actually able to, clicking on the ellipsis, you can disassemble it, download the local data, duplicate it, transferring it to someone, or even see the different details. And if we go to PlayOasis, depending on how fast they index the stuff, we might be able to see it. So we have an entire briqs collection. And if we filter for the realms briqs, hasn't just come up yet. We just need to wait a bit.
A few tests.
Yeah, a few tests. That's I blame Righty, Briq CTO for these.
Oh, that's his.
That's about that. I'll turn off my stream now.
Amazing. Nice work. That was great. I learned a lot then. I haven't been playing with those gizmo things.
Yeah, the little gizmos, we just recently added them. We're pretty happy about these. Yeah, okay, my transaction was just accepted on L2, so should be able to see it. Woo! There we go.
It should pop up in the bot.
Yeah, it will pop up. We're just waiting for it to be confirmed on chain before we actually send you the confirmation.
Right.
Any questions, anyone?
That was super clear, thanks.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying that it was super clear, so thank you. Discovered the tool.
Thanks a lot. It's always a bit nerve-wracking, especially knowing that you have Revilo going right after you.
It's really impressive as a tool, and I think it doesn't look easy to build something like that. I was wondering, is there a plan to make it like first-person view to build like in Minecraft, or will it always be like a general builder view that see the whole map?
That's a very good question. It's definitely something that we want to experiment with. Currently, we wanted to have something that was super easy and that we could actually build. So we actually took a lot of inspiration for different voxel builders that were available online. But in the end, like what we want to build with Briq is just a very composable system that allows you to build stuff, no matter what kind of front end you're going to give people to build with. So maybe you rather have something 2D, maybe you'd rather have something first person, maybe you want to have something isometric. And on our end, like we wanted to have something very easy that looks more like what you would see if you were actually playing with Lego blocks. So definitely something that we're going to experiment with in the future.
Okay, cool.
And yes, Quiddy, these are actual briqs in the background. I don't know if everyone has seen them, but these over there, they're 2 kilogram briqs. They're actual briqs. It was the funniest conversation I ever had with a brick factory to actually get them made.
There we go. The sanctum has popped up,
Yay!
housing the lords.
Can't wait for the city council to tell me I didn't
Yeah, it's
apply to the
structural integrity. That roof looks a bit dodgy. Well, Lord Rev, do you want to jump in now?
Hi guys, good evening,
Yeah.
good morning, good day.
That was that was amazing, Sol. Thanks a lot for that. I'm sure you gave a lot of pointers and tips.
Pleasure. I'll listen to a good Lord Revilo and see if I can add some more stuff. Any more questions from anyone else? Don't worry. Don't hesitate to drop me a message in the chat. Cheers, folks.
Amazing.
Thanks, Sol. Okay, well I guess I'll
You're up. You're up. Show your
just get
tips and
started.
tricks.
Yeah, so just so everybody knows, from the get-go, I'm very new to all this. So I'm guessing, you know, obviously the majority of you guys that are getting involved, your Lord Realms, or, you know, you've picked up on briqs or whatever, and, you know, you're trying your hand at things. And just to maybe boost your confidence, you know, I've only just started as well. And, you know, I've put a fair bit of time into watching videos, you know, checking out resources, join the Magica Voxel community on Discord. You know, there's a bunch of stuff there. You know, you can reach out to people there. I've kind of, you know, I always reach out to people, and obviously, you know, when I first came across briqs, I think it was actually Redbeard. I saw did a post about briqs or something quite a while back, and I went into their Discord and chatting with Sol, and you know, did this little very basic crypts and caverns design, very basic, and then decided to take my hand at a wonder, which was kind of my first experience. And I'm not a digital designer. I do a little bit of basic stuff with SketchUp, floor plans and things for design. So I kind of got a little bit of a background in that, but not very much. So the nice thing is with this software, it's free. So, you know, you don't have to commit to these things, whether it's briqs, you know, obviously, you know, that's available for everybody to use, but things like World Painter and Magica Voxel, which I think Squiddy posted up, to get downloaded. This is all free to use, which is just, it's great. It's so cool that these powerful tools are available to us for free. It's amazing. And with any of it, it's just all, it's patience and, you know, patience and practice. You know, so all I can say is play, you know, just play. I did that design for the Sanctum, about a month and a half ago, and I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. So really, it's only been maybe, you know, probably no more than, you know, 20 hours that I've spent, maybe possibly between 20 and 30 hours actually using Magica Voxel and briqs and things. And I would say that what obviously I'm going to show you guys now with World Painter and creating the, you know, the landscapes, I picked that up from a YouTuber called Art Chaney, ARTCHAMMY, I think it is. He's a little bit monotone, so you got to have some some patience with his videos. But he's been really, you know, really informative, and you know, even he does like a kind of mad maraca kind of style build, and shows you how to do that kind of thing. So as long as you got the patience, you know, watch some videos, and that's where I've learned everything just in the last couple of weeks. So, okay, so let me start the stream. Let me just pick a screen. Here we go.
Good old let me share my screen.
Yeah, that'd be fine where I've got to go. I actually just for this I upgraded to Nitro. the bullet. I've done it. I think showing you guys this in whatever the lower quality is would be pretty painful. So yeah, once you've got this this world painter downloaded, it's very basic and it's actually built for Minecraft. Obviously it's it's pretty appropriate for well, perfectly appropriate for voxels. Now once again, I my knowledge on this is very, very basic. So I'm sure that the tools available in this go far beyond what I'll be able to show you. I'm probably going to make mistakes in this video as well and have to go and redo things. I don't know. I'm kind of running on fumes. I was up late last night doing some designing, and my son decided to get up at 4:30 this morning, so it's been a bit painful.
Don't worry, sir. You'll be fine.
Yeah, a couple of beers in, I'm feeling all right,
typing.
but I might stumble over myself.
Just
Worries.
It
So,
is Friday afternoon here.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
Can you guys see that? Can you see
Yeah,
the
that's-
world painter? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So
Yeah,
obviously it
yeah.
starts off. It's very large. So I've been starting off. You got to file new world, and I think it's just the standard is 640 square. Now I'm doing the kind of base designs in Magica Voxel. It is a lot of bricks. It's a huge amount of information to be dealing with. So I've been kind of doing this, importing it into Magica, and then doing my bits there and there. But then saying that, that first design that I did, the Sanctum, I did that before you could even import. So that was all done, in Briq. So it's absolutely capable of, building these designs. So we just want to set this to 256 by 256, which is the standard size of object that you can work with in Magica Voxel. Now, I'm sure obviously as time goes on and StarkNet gets more powerful and things are integrated even better and everything's optimized, I'm sure Briqs will be able to go even larger than the 300 by 300. I only just realized that it had gone up to 300 by 300. So 256 is the standard size in Magica Voxel, but in Magica Voxel, you can actually build lots of objects where you can then layer them all up, and you've got these kind of individual cubes where you do the designs, and it all builds up to build big one. So if you want to do a 300 by 300, you could do it in Magica Voxel. You're just going to have to create a few different kind of like frames almost, All right, so I would definitely obviously suggest you play with all of this. I'm still playing, I'm still figuring it out. Things like obviously materials and stuff, that's not going to matter. So with this, what we're doing is creating a height map. I'd assume obviously when you're exporting it as, whatever the Minecraft format is, whatever they're using, you're going to get all those, the beaches and the water and the rest of it. But for us, it's kind of irrelevant. Depending on what kind of build you're doing, I guess, like I usually reduce this down, the water level, bring that right down. So when we're kind of making holes and things, that's not going to have too much of an effect. This obviously what we're looking at here is quite huge. I would say what we're making is probably more this size. But the great thing is that you can go, and this is just all generated. It's so cool. And this is, look how basic it is. It's great. So you can go around and choose, an area that you like, and then use that as, your kind of composition. Now we can change a lot of things here. Obviously, we do just have this perspective. There may be a way of seeing a 3D view at this point. I'm not aware of that just yet. We can do it once we're in the builder, once we've selected the area. It'd be kind of cool if you could see, because then you could see the, the actual, the real composition with height detail. But we can change the height of the hills here. So obviously that's given us a lot more height. That's kind of fun actually. Let's just go with that. And you can play around with this. When I click off here, it doesn't just automatically load it, so I have to like do something else. So obviously that has then just increased the size those distances. So something like this could be quite cool if you're doing like rice paddies or something. So you take like a big section out of that, but we'll reduce that back down to let's try 150. Okay, so you can just hit you can just hit enter here. And that'll do it. Okay, we'll take that, and maybe just for this one, what we'll do, we'll make this, and then we'll maybe try and put a river through. And you know, have a little play around, maybe kind of break these up a little bit, you know, give it a little bit more of a natural feel. Alrighty, okay, I think I've got everything here. This is kind of cool as well. You can do like circle ones, which would be quite interesting. Yeah, I don't even bother with advanced. As I said, my knowledge of this is very basic. I think there's a lot of stuff going on here. I don't know how much can be imported, yeah, or exported with usable information, but definitely look up some YouTube videos. I'm sure there's heaps. All right, so we're going to kind of center around here. I have found when I have previously done it, it seems to be a little bit off center. It's a shame that they don't give you these dimensions and give you some kind of, you know, reference. But just have a play. At the end of the day, you just go and start again. There's no drama. Okay, so 256 square. Let's give it a go. All right, okay. All right, so we got this kind of little space here. Open this up. So the first thing that I'd usually do is go show 3D view. Now I do have a bit of a monster screen, which is a bit of a luxury. But if you open this in its own window, you can lock the windows so that it always stays on top of what you're working on. If you want to have it up in the open, I like to have this kind of, you know, as big as possible. And this gives you like a live 3D view of what you're doing. Yeah, you can rotate round. That's about it. You can't, you know, you can't perfectly move around the space, but you can get the views, so you can get a good idea. You know, this is an interesting shape. I might try and do. Gotta figure out where I am here. Okay, all right. So this is here, obviously. This is here. Now, obviously, with all this coloration and things, that's all going to be forgotten anyway. What we might try and do is put a river through the middle here. So now I've completely forgotten where I got them from, but I got some custom brushes here. There's, you know, there's probably a million and one different options. So definitely, if you have a search online, you know, custom brushes, world painter, I'm sure you're gonna find absolutely heaps. But I really haven't spent all that much time. Just literally in the last couple of days since the competition, I've actually kind of, you know, been using it. Now these four, not even really this last one. These three, I'm not going to go into all options because guys, just have a play. I'll just show you what I use. But we got smooth here. This kind of smooths out terrain, which is great because you can make a real mess of something. You know, raising and then lowering, and it gets all pretty funky. But then when you smooth out, that kind of, you know, gets rid of all those, you know, unnatural, you know, jagged edges and things. Yeah, you got flatten here, like if you want to create like a little bit of a plateau, and then this is raise or lower terrain. So we'll go on to raise lower terrain. Now you got your, you know, your different brushes here. I'm really either using the soft or the kind of medium one. Always using the circular, but once again, you know, use whatever you see fit. Intensity here. So those are really the options. So I'm using this and I'm changing the intensity. So if I change up the intensity high, it's going to bring that down real quick. If I have it quite low, it's going to do it very gradual. I don't know if you probably can't even see that, but it's hardly making any difference at all. Depending on what I'm doing, you know, at the beginning when I'm first shaping, I'll probably use, you know, a high intensity brush. And then when I'm coming through using some of the custom brushes to kind of mix up the textures a little bit, I'll use maybe something a little bit lower. But I'm thinking if we bring the river through here, so we'll just start working our way through here, kind of meandering through these hills. And we're just trying to, you know, smoothly use it. It's going to be a little bit of a kind of V, which is going to be pretty cool. I'm just gonna bring that down. So now obviously while you're holding, you're not gonna see it live. Once you release it, then you're gonna get, you know, the effect. Now that in itself, if you flood that with water, which I'll show you how to do in Magica Voxel as well after this. You know, you don't really need to go any deeper. We can make it a little bit wider though. We'll go into these kind of slight bays here a little bit, kind of make it a little bit more natural. Bring this in here a little bit. And I guess with all of this stuff, like if, you know, obviously, you know, try and, so that's where just so you know, that's obviously where I've set the water level when I was first creating the document, but that's not going to show up in what we export anyway. So you're not going to see like blue, green, you know, bare dirt and things. It's just going to have that depth. So it doesn't really make any difference here. It can be helpful if you're working like to any kind of, you know, specific to kind of show, you know, that you've reached that depth that you wanted to reach. Now with the kind of design, I'd highly recommend, like if you're struggling, you know, if you're struggling from kind of like an artistry point of view, you know, it's like imagine, you know, what a river looks like, or, you know, what it would be, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to be on your computer doing this anyway. Just, you know, search, you know, say the wonder of, you know, the perpetual fjord. Look at some fjords, you know, you're going to get some great inspiration, even just from photographs. Nobody's going to hold it against you, you know. It's that's just natural, you know, getting inspiration from nature for your drawings. Like if you want to do a volcano, look at some photos of volcanoes, you know, and all that kind of thing. So that's kind of raised that up. That's pretty cool, you know. That's actually quite fjordy in itself. You know, that just straight up, you know, you could probably do something quite cool in Magica Voxel with that. I'll just show you some of the other kind of things. Let's just make a bit of a mountain up this end. So I'll go for a little bit of a harder brush. I'll go 100%. So we'll just bring that up. Now you'll see I've actually hit the top of the drawing there. That's fine. So this is like when it gets a little bit messy. Hopefully I'll be able to fix it. We'll see. So I'll probably, you know, pull this down a little bit, you know, either side, and pull this up a little bit here. Scrolling your wheel, obviously, you know, changes the area that you're affecting. So if I was just to do that and click, it's essentially just, you know, kind of bringing everything up. You know, whereas if I go in really small, you can't even see that there. Well, you can't see it there because I've reached the maximum, that's for sure. But yeah, here you go. So you get a little kind of little thing here. So you can do some really, really cool stuff. You know, if you know, just have a play, you know, set 30 minutes aside. I guess for me personally, with these kind of designs and doing all this, it's all about, I'm very methodical. You know, I'll sit down, I'll figure out how to use one thing before I move on to the next. And even with the designs at the moment, I've been releasing those works in progress. I haven't even got to the point of really coloring and adding detail, and I haven't ever really done that. So, you know, adding trees and that kind of thing. I kind of like go and make a bunch, you know, at a certain level, and, you know, then keep working, you know, in kind of, you know, batches. I always find personally, you know, that works really well for me. Okay, so let's try and smooth this over. So we got flatten here, so I'll just show you flatten. So obviously we're flattening, you know, it's pulling that all to the same level. If I was to do that here, it's just gonna eat into that and flatten that along with that. Now, smooth is probably one of the most useful ones, because it can really, you know, help make it look natural. So if I smooth this round, you know, we've already created a more natural edge there. You know, we can bring that in a little bit. You know, that looks a bit funky. Um, you get the gist, and you just play with that, pull it out. This tool's really good for you know, for if you're doing like a volcano where you have those mountains and kind of the old lava flows, how they kind of go down the mountain and they pull out. You know, the smoothing over really helps make it look realistic. I was just kind of working on a volcano design before, and it came really nice actually. But look, that's pretty much it. So that, and then the custom brushes. So with this, like, you've got a lot of detail here. You know, it's not all that complicated. So if we add this in, you're barely even gonna see the differences that it's making. But it can just help mix things up a little bit. All right, okay, so now we're here. Let's export the file. So I'll just close this down. I'd obviously save it as well, so save the file so I can open it back up and you know, you know, rework it if I wanted to. But we want to go to export. I want to export as height map. Now I'll just shut this on my desktop. So let's just go demo one. That's just demo. So we're saving that. Now this step's pretty important. I don't understand a whole lot about you know, formats, and if you know, I'm far from, you know, being a developer or a coder. So I'm not going to be able to explain it very well, but you do need to do this where you open it with Paint. There we go. So you can kind of see, you know, this is just what the height maps look like. So we want to file, save as, and PNG. And I still don't really understand because you're exporting it as a PNG, but this, it removes some, I think, like some kind of transparency layer or something, which helps. So I'll do demo one, and I have a feeling you got to put in, you know, you got to put in PNG after the end. Don't ask me why. I feel like you need to, so I just do it. Try without, might still work. But anyway.
I love it. It's like pot kitchen, pot code.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Just trying to make things work. All right, so we saved that. Yeah, here you go. So any transparency will be lost. I think that's what we want. We actually want that. So we hit OK. Here's our file. So we'll leave that to the side here. We can close this down. I'll open up Magica Voxel. Oh, that's opened up. All right, here we go. Let's do a new project. So we go into world view. So if you hit tab, you go into world view. We can just delete this. So just hit delete. And rather nicely, we can just drop this straight in. There we go. So we've got our height map here. Now, what you'll notice is the object is constrained to the actual file that we've created. So this next step, it's really important that you increase this size. So you want to go into the object. Now, once again, with Magica Voxel, my knowledge is very basic, so there's probably better shortcuts and more efficient ways of doing things, but I'll just tell you how I've figured out doing it so far. So we hit tab, which brings us into the object. Now we want to go up to here, which is resize the model. And as you can see, we're only 1 cube high. So we want to increase that to 256. Now what we want to do is go down to the console here at the bottom. And what we're doing is doing excess height, hit enter. Oh, I've realized what I've done wrong, and will give you that exact result. What you just saw is that I've loaded it in with this palette. This is actually the realms palette here. These are all the colors here. Maybe I can share this palette with you guys if you want to use it. And even, Oh no, it doesn't keep the names, but these are all the like this is ethereal silica, for instance. This is dragonhide. So maybe I can share that in the Discord. But when you're doing the height map, you want just black and white. So that's obviously messed that up. So let's delete that. We're in this palette here. So palette 2 is just grayscale. So let's try that again. Drop it in. Now it's dropped in. It's in grayscale. Open it up. Increase that height. Go to console, XS height. There we go. Okay. So now we've got our shape. Now, as you can see, it's kind of, it doesn't look that natural. I guess with, you know, a little bit more time spent, you know, kind of layering this. Like if I'd done this and I saw this, I would then now delete this, go back, open up the original, and I now know how this looks like. So I'd want to kind of, you know, flatten this, and I wouldn't want it so, you know, kind of layered. And but you know, at the end of the day, it's still pretty cool. It's kind
A
of like
true perfectionist.
yeah. Well, you know, you got to do.
My mind is utterly blown. I never even thought about using these things to do this. This is so cool.
You know, the power of YouTube. It's amazing. You know, I think I would highly suggest anybody that's really wants to give, you know, a real crack, you know, at the competition, just spends a night just watching videos, and you know, because like some of these videos are, you know, 45 minutes long. There's other videos you kind of got to watch twice and take notes, and you know, this kind of stuff, if you put in the time at the beginning to learn, you know, you're going to progress so much faster than if you just try and figure this stuff out for yourself. You know, and I'd highly recommend looking into it. Now, obviously, this is solid, so this is probably, you know, bloody, you know, 1 million bricks right now. You know, if not more. So we can very nicely with Magica Voxel hollow this out. So we can hit tab, which brings, so like when you see this base plate here, this is all, you know, we're in the world view. So I was saying earlier, like if you want to make really large models, like when you see the Mad Maracas, they have like 30 or 40 of these, you know, all stacked up and layered on top of one another. It's absolute madness. Now you can just, you know, so what I'm doing here, I'm in the world view, I'm holding shift, and then that will replicate it. Now I do this a lot. Now what I'll do is I'll create, it's almost like kind of, I guess, like saying having a layer where you can put that aside, and if I F this one up, well, I've got the original here anyway. There might be some kind of aspects of this that I want to keep and delete everything else, change, and then layer on top of this one, you know, which can make for some really interesting details. So what we want to do to hold this out, we're in world view, so we go into the model. We're going to modify, and we're going to hull. And you just click that, and now that has hollowed that out. So if I delete, say, now the bottom, now you can see that's all hollow. So what it does is that it deletes everything that's not visible. So you're definitely going to want to do that, obviously, before importing into Briq.
Next feature in Briq Solnus.
Jesus Christ, that thing exists. I'm mind blown.
So I'll just quickly show you how to add water in, just so you guys know. I'm not going to go into much more detail with Magica Voxel, but of course, if you guys have a question, you know, even if I won't be able to help, feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to help if I can help. Just keep in mind that I'm very new to this as well, and I'm also learning. So I might not be able to answer complicated questions, but you know, maybe I'll be able to help. So it might be worth reaching out. Now, in that last drawing, what I've realized is in World Painter, I actually came down to right to the base. So what that's meant is that we don't have any kind of, you know, depth to our river. Now I'll still raise the river, but generally you know, you want your river to kind of have some of crevice. Now I think we're yet to see translucent bricks in Briqs. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sol. So putting in a river, you're not going to be able to see through and see the details of the bottom of the river yet, but I'm sure it will come soon enough. So better design these things in now, because obviously when you're building the world in the world painter, it's much easier to do it there than it is for me to now come through and, you know, build like a trench through here, you know, with depth. But anyway, I'll come in. So to do a river, what we want to do, we want to be in attach mode. Now we want to be in face mode as well. Now what that does is that raises the whole level. Now what I'd usually do so that it goes through the entire map. So you might have two rivers, but they're separate. So if I was to be attaching the face mode in this, it would just do the one, not the other. But if we do this, this and this, and let's go over to a palette, we'll choose a color. Let's find, you know, kind of nice blue. There we go. And now it's just raising that water level. So we could do like, we've got like some islands here, you know, that's pretty cool as well. You know, that's pretty awesome actually. You know, forget the river. That's great. Yeah, that's really nice. And if we go to render, you know, you get some nice shadows and things. All right, okay, so I've obviously now created more density there. So that would be solid bricks as well. So I wanna hold that again. Hold that again. There we go. I'm not gonna do like show you how to build a structure and things, and you know that's not the purpose of this. It's just to show you guys how you know I go about, you know, creating the landscapes. Obviously I now would start doing things like adding in grass and foliage, but honestly I've literally just been doing that for like a day. So I'm just starting to figure that out. And even in the designs that I'm doing now, I feel like it can be so much better. Which is the really exciting thing with this, and I guess the cool thing with the community is, you know, we're all learning together. You know, that's why it's so good. You know, we can all learn and we can teach, share. Okay, so I want to save this. Save it.
Thanks for the presentation. I have a little question. Is there a way to know the amount of bricks that you are using?
I actually have no idea. I have no idea how to do that. I did look into that a while ago. I didn't ever ask anybody, but I did some searching on Google, and I couldn't find any answer. It's weird because it seems like it's a pretty like, you know, a pretty standard bit of data. So I'm sure it is available somewhere. Where? I don't know. But obviously when you've hollowed it out, like you're not going to be able to reduce it any further, I guess. So saying that, the one thing that you can do is obviously these sides. So these side planes are obviously going to be taking up a lot, but it's kind of a tough one because if you import that into bricks and you've removed all the sides, it's going to look a little bit weird seeing the kind of negative space. You kind of want this kind of edge because it kind of, you know, boxes it in. We could take the bottom one off. At the end of the day, this bottom one is DHAM noted 300 by 300. This is 256 by 256. I'm not going to try and do the maths in my head, but 300 by 300, that's 90,000 bricks, and that's just one layer. So as I showed you before, you want to go into the orthogonal camera, so it's just, you know, just flat, and then we want to select, take off this, select the bottom, and then that's obviously then selecting throughout that whole range. So if we then delete that, okay, so the water, because I started at a high level, actually the water base goes much higher. So we could do this, delete that. There you go. So that's all hollow now. So at least you've removed those. Yeah, sorry, was that you, Soul, asking me? It was another Frenchman.
No,
It was
sorry,
not-
yeah, another Frenchman, definitely.
It was. It was. Sorry, yeah, sorry, I can't really answer that. If you do
No worries,
find,
no worries. I'll
if you do,
search.
if you do find an answer to it, please share. Because
Sure, yeah,
it's
will
kind
do.
of useful to know. All right, so I think I already saved it, so I won't save it. Well, actually, it's actually more bricks, so let's just save it. Yeah, it's just gonna update that. Now, bricks. Okay. All right, now I'm not connected to my wallet, and I am in Firefox, so obviously I don't have, you know, the wallet on this. I just find, you know, Chrome is just a little bit slower, and obviously with these huge files, it's pretty intense. So, manage sets, import from file.
Just a note on that. You know, Briqs is a browser based, so it's, you know, it's pushing the limits of what a browser can do.
Revilo, I think you actually need to go on Chrome.
No, I just realized that. Yeah, I think
Yeah, that API doesn't exist on Firefox.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we've got Righty on this side, so he's the one to blame.
Yeah, add it to Firefox.
I don't know what this is here. Right, so I'm not even connected to my wallet. Okay, here we go. So let's bring this in. Give my stop. Demo 1. That's the one. Bring it in. So you're gonna have some issues here. The stuff, there you go. So it's told us here 120,000 bricks. It's pretty hefty. It's going to be pretty painful working on, because it is a huge amount of bricks, and obviously being based on a browser, it's just going to be very challenging to work with. But obviously these guys at Briqs, they've foreseen that, and that's why you have the import function. So we can, you know, work on these these other, you know, softwares, and then we can tweak. But then again, if you're doing a project that's, you know, 100 by 100, you know, that's what I was working on with the that first one that I did, the Sanctum of Purpose, and I did it all in Briqs, and it was perfect. It was great. Did all the building, and that was before importing was possible. So, you know, you don't have to do obviously the maximum size, and there is also beauty and simplicity. So, you know, these little designs can go a long way. All right, so let's import that. Oh, my fans start kicking off. Okay, there we go. All right. So there we go. Now, obviously, I didn't do any, you know, coloring or anything. So this is just the standard. Now, obviously, these guys have, you know, integrated pretty much every color imaginable. I think you've got the whole range of hex colors.
Yeah, we do.
So, yeah, so anything that you create from a color perspective in Magica Voxel is going to be replicated here, which is awesome, which is really cool. So whether you wanted to build your landscape and, you know, then come in here and, you know, build yourself, you know, some little structures or whatever, you know, whatever goes really. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
That was amazing.
This is so amazing.
The pipeline.
Yeah, hopefully that helps some of you guys. You know,
Can we actually try something, Revilo? I'd like to try something on your construction. I'd like to try and change the color of the land so that it looks a little bit more like grassier. So yeah. So can you click on manage color at the bottom left? Sorry. Click on keep only set colors.
Keep only set colors.
Yep, perfect. Keep only set. Yeah, perfect. You can close that window. So now you only have 3 different colors. So that these are only the colors that are currently here. So dirty trick that I didn't tell you about. You are able to swap colors. So if you go back to manage and you click on the little edit thing next to the gray bricks, the gray color, yeah, change it to something a bit grassier. Yep. Yep. Click on pick.
This is
There
a
we go.
live stress test.
Yeah.
There we go.
You should have heard my computer there. He complained a little bit. Like,
There.
yeah.
Nice. Well, that's a great trick. I didn't know
So
that
you
either.
can, yeah, so you can basically now just one trick with that. I don't know if this is where you were going, but it's a very cool way of kind of hacking layers. So, you know, when you don't have the layer function, and honestly, I've still got to get my head around the layer function in Magica Voxel. I haven't really given it that much time. But when I'm working in Magica Voxel, I actually color code like what I'm working on so that I can easily select it. Now, can you select by color? Sol?
Currently, no.
Okay. But you can
Unfortunately.
have a color and you can then play with that color. So
Yeah.
if you did it in, say, monotone,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
could
you
then
can go.
go through those different colors and then associate
it.
it to colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I'm putting it down in on the roadmap for select by color. It's a good one.
Select it by color because it kind of it's like a round the way, you know, layer kind of function, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's very easy to use for sure. Great.
This is so cool.
Amazing.
Any questions?
I have no question, but just wanted to say a big thank you. It was really insightful.
Absolute pleasure. I don't know if this was recorded, maybe not.
Yeah.
But
Redbit's recording it.
okay, all right. Now I have waffled on a fair bit, so if you just want to know how to do one thing or whatever, rather than watching the whole video again, you know, you can send me a message, and you know, I can just give you the basic steps. You know, always happy to help, so don't hesitate to reach out. You know, as I said, everyone here is, you know, keen to help. We wanna all grow, and we want to create amazing things together. So I'm more than happy to share.
Amazing. Yeah, thanks a lot for your time, Revilo. Can't wait to see you mint these the things you've already made.
Can't wait for you to crash StarkNet by
Yeah.
using that getting thing.
Cricket. Yeah.
I actually have a question for someone in the audience. I see Stefan Cavi over there with the hand, who's another one of the top builders on Briq. Was wondering if you were up for doing another session like this, for instance. Would you be up for it, for Stefan?
Me?
No, Stefan Cavi. He's one of your competitors.
Yeah.
In the chat. I'd be curious to have his take on how he builds.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I don't know if Stefan's if Stefan comes from a background of it, but obviously for me, you know, being very new to it, I'm super keen to learn as well. So guys, like if you have suggestions, if you see something that I've done wrong or faster, especially, you know, if you're keen to help, I'm all ears. It goes both ways, right? I think we're all learning here, so.
This is so cool. I'm so glad to see someone else actually use it. Like we've spent a lot of time building this, and it feels amazing to see people use it and also tweak it in a way that I didn't even think about. This is the best feeling.
Leveraging 3 tools.
My goodness, when once you know, once everything's kicked off, you know, at the end of the day, StarkNet isn't even really live yet, you know. Once everything's live and we're looking, you know, a year or two down the line, but never mind, you know, maybe if we had someone like, you know, Magica come in, or the one of hundreds, you know, what they would be able to do would, you know, leave me in the absolute shadows. And
It's
I
all
think-
about the little tricks.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Yeah.
think with briqs, at the end of the day, the fact that you guys have integrated in, you know, import, really, you know, the only limitations really is just the size, you know. So you can do anything with this. It's fully functioning. You know, it all works. So yeah, you know, you can only limit the limits that there are the limits that we put on ourselves. So get building, guys.
Well said. All right, guys. Well, we've been going for what, an hour and 15 minutes. That was. If there's any other questions, now's the time, or just drop it in the comp chat. And remember to, if you're not a member already, go to the Briq Discord as well. Well, yeah, thanks a lot, Solnus and Rati. And yep, thanks a lot, Revilo. And well, all happy hunting in the competition.
Cheers, folks. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Guys,
Thank you,
pleasure,
bye, guys.
guys. Happy building.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Good night, boys.
Bye.